hoodie. Go to BayMaxStreetwear.com and get yours. We got fly gear on there.
Hold on, you got a spot?
Oh yeah,
You have gear?
Yeah.
Well, last time I was trying to order on my mama or yeah.
From YouTube?
Yeah.
And what happened? It didn't go through?
No, you said don't order it because
I didn't know how to check the money. All I gotta do.
you probably
I
got
finna
a bag
what?
right now.
Tomorrow I'm finna go figure out how to check my Teespring. I think you know how your computer change your
Bro, how many years has it been you haven't checked that?
about 3.
Wow, bro.
Got at least $100 in there.
100?
I think small, just so I can be surprised. At
Bro.
least $100 in there.
We have Spider Loc in the building.
In this thing, nah, fuck that. Hit that pad, man.
I did. I got both of them now.
No, the other one. When you say my name, it should say yeah.
Oh, here.
No, not that.
We have Spider up in here,
That's
guys.
fucked up. Just the homie just trying to get used to the pads, y'all. He don't know all the pads by
No,
heart.
that was purposely done.
Oh, okay. Fuck you too.
All right. We're in the building.
And to the viewers, just in case you can see the imperfections in this white tee, this was definitely designed to be an undershirt today, right? We got AC blowing icy cold in here, but Mother Nature said, fuck all that.
Yep.
It's hot as fish grease. So I got a Baymax hoodie over here that I was going to wear that I'm not going to throw on. Matter of fact, make your way to BayMaxStreetwear.com and get your fresh gear, man. On my mama do like.
That's right. And so let's get this started, man. Spider, I know you don't come out for a lot of people, and I appreciate you coming here for us. It's big for me. And also want to shout out Street TV, Alex.
A3.
Yep, because he helped me put all this thing together. As soon as we told him what we have in our mind and what we're trying to do for the kids, as far as a foundation and a platform for them to come to, with no hesitation, he came by and Spider put that thing together. Spider, I appreciate you putting all of this thing together, and we're going to try to do good things for the young kids out there, bro.
I appreciate your humility because, no, I don't come out for many. And I know you appreciate me coming out for you, but you the man on the low. I ain't going to blow your cover too soon. And, I call Alex A3 because his first, middle, and last name begin with A. So that's why I call him A3. And, Alex, he really coaches through putting this little situation together. It happened a lot faster than I expected it to, so I salute you for that. Yeah. I look forward to the future, man. I think big things popping, man.
Yeah. We're looking forward into getting into that motion that we're talking about, which is basically taking young guys that have flow, that have some type of artistic vision. I mean, it could be anything. Mainly right now we're going to focus on rap and stay hip-hop, but we're going to eventually expand and go further into other things. I mean, it could be painting, it could be playing the piano. It does not matter. We're not going to discriminate on anything.
So basically what the homie is speaking on is we are designing our own form of a talent search. Not necessarily to say we have a huge gift or prize or award to extend at the end, but we do realize we do have some motion. We do have some exposure. And we like to shed some of this light on some of the up-and-coming talent. And not only do I want to highlight some of my favorite artists that I'm dealing with personally, of course, Blue Smurf. People know I have a favorite toward Trifling as an artist. Them is the Long Beach, Noonie Green, the homie Law 5, P1, MB3, people that's up and coming. The homie Crip Dog from Q102, he got a handful of artists that I'm eager to get some highlight to. And that's just the few right in my backyard. But it extends across the county, and we're gonna have a title for our talent search. But we just want a talent and we want to search out, find, and highlight some of this untapped into talent out here. There's tons of talent.
Yeah, and if you guys can, get in the comments and let us know what kind of name you guys think we should put out there.
If you got somebody from your section, up and coming, hot, and serious.
Yeah.
Not no goofy that's playing with the shit. But anybody that feel like they really got something to offer that can spit a cappella. You got to be able to write the beat, but I got to be able to appreciate what you saying without no beat. If you got those type of skill sets, we're going to have an email.
Well, actually, the email is...
There we go.
Yeah, I got that ready. yournewdeals@yahoo.com. I made it simple just so that people could just, remember it. yournewdeals@yahoo.com, just the way you hear it. I'll put it up on the... Yeah, I'll put it up. You mentioned Blue Smurf.
Blue Smurf, Northside Long Beach.
Brother, I listened to some of his songs, bro. That guy has talent. He definitely has something. And I wanted to ask you, Google Gang. That song.
Gang.
Yeah, that song is. I keep listening to it, bro. Ever since I heard it, I keep playing it back.
You official member because you keep it Google.
And I wanted to ask you, man, how did? Who did that video?
Was that the homie Rich Wolf? Yeah, I think that's the homie Wolf Rich did that video.
Whoever did that video did a good job, man.
I directed it, coach. I usually direct.
Well,
all
as
my
soon
videos.
as soon as I said he did a good job, he put his name.
Because you know what happens these days, and not knocking nobody, but when you yourself are working on a budget and you're dealing with people, they usually come with their camera and they ready to edit. They're ready to shoot and edit whatever you want them to shoot and edit.
Right.
So you end up having to be creative and come up with the ideas and the shots because it's your record. You've been living with it. You the one that want to bring it to life. And unless you dealing with a videographer that you can send a record to and he's going to give you a treatment, which is not the typical way of doing things on the independent level these days, grassroots.
Yeah.
So usually I end up directing. Even if I do get a treatment, I have input on it most times. It's the way my brain works.
Yeah.
I think you and I, as a matter of fact, we can direct videos for artists. We can market ourselves as a directing company as well.
We can, and the numbers are going to tell us how to move, basically. It's going to be up to the fans, really. No matter how I look at it, it's going to be up to the fans and the numbers. We're going to try to give you, content, interesting content. And also we're trying to bring the community together. That's the most important thing. We're trying to bring these kids, together, basically. Also, I wanted to ask you about, I have one of your fans on YouTube.
You got one of my 5 fans. That's hard.
Yeah. One of the 4.
I won't have one too many.
Hold on. No, because these were really good questions, bro. So I was like,
I told you, bro, no boundaries, no limits.
All right. So let's get to it. This is from Dusty Clips.
Shout out to Dusty Clips.
Yeah, 2996. Let's see. I got some good questions. That's how he started this conversation. Ask him if he has any stories about Orlando Anderson and Keffe D.
Orlando Anderson and Keffe D. Since he said their names simultaneously or together in the same sentence, I'm going to try to give you a story that combines them both. Don't have many.
So you do have a story.
I do. I happen to grow up as a associate at Baby Lane.
Oh, all right.
Orlando Anderson. Shout out to my cousin Stacey King, free Stacey. He doing 6 right now. He had Chino in prison on my mama. It's my cousin. He's older than me. It's his first time going to prison. He went this year. God damn.
How long? Oh, this year. So he has 5 more?
He has about 5 more years, yeah. He had what was initially attempted murder that he pled down, and he got 6 years. So we feel fortunate. They gave my cousin 6. That was a sweet deal.
That is.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I grew up because of my mother, his mother, sisters, best friends, and all that. I grew up and my auntie stayed on Chester, which is the street that South Park is on this south side. The north side is it's on Chester outside too. Anyway, on the Greenleaf side, I grew up all my life being on Chester right down the street from South Park. So I grew up knowing a whole lot of south sides, from Dirt to Poo Poo, Curtis and Maniac, and I just grew up knowing a lot of them, Chico, Ace, Spang, Duck, a lot of them, but we knew each other. So Baby Lane was just one of them that I happened to know. And the fact that he grew to be such a notorious figure is just it just happened to be. But I know Baby Lane. One story I can give you that includes Baby Lane and Keefe D was, I remember one night when my cousin Stace Loke first got put on Southside, we was on Glencoe, and it was just me, him, my homegirl was on her way. I had already turned the set, but my homegirl had a house on Greenleaf. Her name was Marcia, and she had to turn herself into the feds. So she was finna throw a party this night, because maybe it was Saturday night, and Monday she had to turn herself in, something like that. So she was throwing a party Saturday night, and I knew all the homies was coming to Compton later on that night. So I stayed in the Track News. I said, fuck it. I'm going to go fuck with Stacy in the South while the sun was still up in the daytime. Because I know later on the homies going to come, so I'm just going to be over there. So I went over there. I was fucking with my cousin in Southside Hood all day. And Cub was like, in my mind at this time, I figured Cub was from Southside for a while already. He was like 14, 15. So when we get up in the spot, Duck had a spot. Lil Duck had a spot on Glencoe upstairs, a little studio apartment. So we in there kicking it, cuz, and then my cousin went in the little room. Next thing you know, you heard a whole bunch of rumbling. When cuz came out, he was like leaking from his mouth or his nose, and they was all happy, pumped up, like we just put cuz on the set. Woo, woo. So that was the first, like, whoa, shit. You know, I knew he was from, you know how that shit go. He been hanging, he been banging, he was whoop whoop, and then like they had never really got with cuz program, they got with his program. So I'm like, whoop. So he came out, you know, just imagine when he walked in that room, me and him lock eyes. And he was like shocked, but he was like, you know, he was cool. Like, okay, that's what it is. Cut really from Southside now. Yeah. So long story short, shout out to my nigga Sane from Atlanta Drive, because after this, we ended up going to prison together. And years later, this all in the 90s, but in 2023 or 2024, we reunited on Facebook and we communicated. Shout out to my nigga Sane from Atlanta Drive. But long story short, so now I'm in this spot with a gang of Atlanta Drives and a gang of Southsides. I'm the only nigga from East Coast in the thing. So the Atlanta Drives had a gang of Powder Blue on. And the Track News where I grew up, that was their color traditionally all my life. And I made a mistake of I said something to relate to the Atlanta Drives that they was from I think I asked one of them, they was from Track New. And that was the wrong thing to ask, because it was like low key beef between, you know what I'm saying, them sections at the time. And they went up on me. They was like, "Cuz we ain't, hell no." And they kind of dissed. They said Track New, but they took the T and the R off and put an F in front. We ain't from no, we from woo, we took their color, it was all this. I'm like, man, I'm from East Coast, homie. I just thought y'all was from Track New, homie, woo. I wasn't trying to disrespect, I'm just trying to like, did it, right? Yeah. So long story short, it's I remember, I'm like, they was like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from 97 East Coast. So I think it was a nigga named Milford, Lil Mill. He was like, nigga, my uncle, rest in peace from your hood, Big Loft. And then he was drinking Mad Dog 2020. I remember Cuz handed me his drink. I hit it. Well, he like, oh, it's straight. It's over with. But I was on a couch that had 3 seats. And this nigga Sane, he was on one end of the couch. I was on the end of the other couch. And nobody was in between us. I remember that nigga Sane was posted in the corner, like, in the couch. And he just kept, like, after the shit was over with, cuz, with nobody talking about the shit no more, this nigga Sane was like, nigga, you need to pump your brakes. You need to slow your roll. I'm like, damn, cuz, I just told you, cuz, I thought wooty, woo, wop. It died off again. 5-10 minutes later down the line, he hit me with it again. He like, man, check this out, man. I don't like the way you disrespect my hood. So now I got to think fast. I'm friendly with everybody in here, but politics will take over. So I'm like, cuz, check this out, homie. I ain't disrespect your hood, cuz, but if you feel like I disrespect your hood, we can go head up. I made sure I stress head up right now, downstairs. Because we in a little bitty ass single apartment with about 15 niggas. And it's like a long stairs downstairs. So the nigga saying, he stood up, he like, cuz, we ain't got to go downstairs. Nigga, we can get down right here. Thank the Lord. And everybody in the house like, no, cuz, go downstairs with him. There wasn't no winning, no fight in there. You start winning, it's a wrap. So I remember they was like, no, I'll go downstairs with him. So immediately, as soon as I heard the crowd agreeing with me, I peeled out the door. I'm the first nigga down the stairs. I'm coming out my shirt. Whoop. So now we in the middle of the street. We squabbing. Whatever. This is my nigga though, right? This years later. I'm getting the best of Cuz. So as I'm getting the best of Cuz, I think the nigga named Lil Mill, he come from my peripheral, and now I get on Cuz. Now I'm squabbling with Cuz. And at one point, I don't feel like I got rushed, Cuz, but at one point, it kind of felt like I was squabbing two niggas. But I felt like once seen his homie get in it, it was over with him. But long story short, when my cousin Stacy came in, he was like, hold up, that's head up. He was just trying to break it up. Lil Mill spent on my cousin. Bam, 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 bam. And then the shit kind of like was getting out of hand. And I remember Keefy D pulled up, Cuz, out of nowhere. And was like, he was like, at that time he used to call me Lil East Coast. He's like, East Coast, you straight? Woo, 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 woo. And then like we left and all the shit got whatever. Now, mind you, Baby Lane and his homies, they ended up going to war shortly after this incident. But this particular night this took place, Cuz, so I remember my cousin, after the shit, we left on Glencoe, we went on Greenleaf to the homegirl house. When we get in the bathroom, we looking in the mirror, Cuz, my cousin, he looking in the mirror, Cuz, these two teeth at the bottom, they separated like this. His jaw kind of swole. I remember I had the Stafford t-shirts on, two of them. He had like some blood on his t-shirt. So he was in walking distance to his house, but he was like, man, I got a headache, man. I'm going to go home and lay down. I'm like, no, man, we finna party, Cuz, party with me. I remember taking my top t-shirt off, trying to give him the t-shirt, like, throw your t-shirt away because of blood. And then he was like, no, I just want to go home. So I remember I walked him halfway home. I went back to the party. While I'm at the party, Baby Lane pull up on me. So I go sit in the car at Baby Lane. He was like, Cuz, them niggas jumped on you? I'm like, Cuz, them niggas didn't jump on me, Cuz, but I was getting down with one nigga. Then the other nigga like came and took the fade. And once he like took the fade, me and him started getting down. It wasn't like they rushed me at the same time. And that nigga Baby Lane, he was like, what you want to do? I'm like, shit, you talk to Stacy? He was like, yeah, because my cousin Stacy, Stay Slow, that was Baby Lane, boy. So he like, I say, you talk to Stacy? He like, yeah, I talked to him. I say, what Stacy say? He say, he don't really want to do nothing because his mama house right there. He don't want to get nothing started that, could boil over. I said, well, shit, I can't push no button beyond that. I'm going to let him call that shot. But Baby Lane told me, my mama, dead homie. He was like, Cuz, we could leave my gun here, go around there with your gun, and I feel how you feel. At that night, at that moment, I didn't know if I could even trust that. But I probably would have tried it if he would have told me my cousin had said it was up. But because my cousin had said he didn't really want to do nothing because his mama house, my auntie don't get involved in none of that type of shit. So that gave me an out to tell Baby Lane I'm out on that. But I didn't know if I could trust him. But lo and behold, a few months later, he went to war with them same niggas. So now when I look back, not only was he trying to prove to me and Stacy he was down with us, I believe they already had tension between them two groups of homies, though. That was already bubbling over.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, homies.
Wow, that was an interesting story, man.
Facts over feeling, like no lies, though.
Yeah.
Free Lil Wild, Mike DeRoe.
Now, with the continuation of his questions, I heard him say he met, back in the days, he went to school with singer Brandy, asked him if he ran into her after she became famous.
Closest I got to Brandy after she became famous was Ray J.
What school was that? Sorry.
South Bay Junior Academy in Torrance, California. Is between Hawthorne Boulevard and Anza Avenue on Del Amo. It's a small 70 Adventist private school. And it was in the 80s that we attended the school at that time. And I didn't just go to school with Brandy. She just wasn't like a peer she was a little bit younger than me. But the confidence that it took to become Brandy, this superstar, world renowned, she possessed that as a very young girl. Because even with me being considerably older than her, with a girlfriend my age that we used to do PDA, hold hands, kiss on the lockers and all that. Everybody knew this was my girl. Brandy declared me her boyfriend. And she used to even bring me little trinkets, and she was really like flirting. Like everybody knew this was my little girl. Even though I had a girlfriend, this was my little girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I remember knowing and being in tune into the greatness that was possessed within her, because it was a Christian school. So we had something called chapel. And chapel is where you basically have like a worship service at school. And the different students always participate in getting up in front and singing. And I remember, Lord have mercy, she weighed about 30 pounds. She couldn't have been no older than 11 years old, but she used to sing like Whitney Houston. Wow. And just blow. I knew something was great about this little girl. And she didn't even like come to school with her own family. She used to ride to school with another family. I don't know if it was her parents' work schedule or whatever, but she used to ride with another family. So she was nothing about her that would give you an indication that she was going to be great, other than her charisma and her voice. So midway through the school year, I can recall she just stopped coming to school. So I can remember asking the family that she used to ride with, I don't know why I remember, like a green van. I think they used to ride in a green van. But I remember asking them, hey, what happened to Brandy? And the first report was, oh, she got a tutor. She dropped out of school because she got a deal singing commercials for Walt Disney.
Oh, wow.
So that was like, damn, okay, that made sense from what I saw in her.
Yeah.
And then couple years later, I'm out of high school, I believe, or almost out. I wasn't going to that particular school anymore. And then I want to be down. That shit dropped. And so now she looking more mature. You looking at it like, man, that's that girl. Look. And I wasn't sure. I remember getting in touch with the principal of the school, and she confirmed that was her. So as she was just, being super famous megastar, I used just to always, internally reflect on our initial interactions. And then being at Death Row, who popped up as an artist on the label for a while, other than Ray J.
Brandy, huh?
Yeah, his little brother. No, her little brother.
Yeah, Ray J.
Yeah, Ray J. Yeah. So, me being around Ray J casually on a regular basis, I kind of gave him the backstory of what I just told you and made a real humble appeal for him to put me on the phone with his sister, and he never did it. Oh, my mama.
Oh, wow.
Hating ass nigga. Yeah, man. I told him I don't want to meet her. I don't want to do nothing. I just would appreciate hearing her confirm that she remember all this. That's all I wanted.
That's crazy.
He wouldn't even do that for me.
Did you try contacting her through like DMs
Definitely
or Facebook?
never worked.
Never got to get back. Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Proud of you, Brandy. I'm your day uno. Beginning South Bay, Miss Flatch, all that. You remember?
Yeah, I mean those young years are the best memories, man.
Yeah, and just think that was the last of her regular life.
Yeah.
So I know she remembers it even more so than the average person at that age, because after that, nothing was regular.
Were you rapping at that time? Like, were you writing anything?
Yes, definitely. But I wasn't like in a position with parents trying to foster my talents like she was, where I had any idea I was going to be able to get as close to the industry that I ever got at that point.
So then when you saw that, did that even motivate you a little bit more?
Definitely.
It did, huh?
Just knowing that to this day lets me know that there has been, all you have to do is whatever magnitude we want to establish Brandy to be in the industry, and to me, I quantify that as that level of the industry has been attracted to me all my life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that energy builds into you, man, because you see somebody that was right next to you turn this into something else, and you're like,
It'd be one thing for me just to be next to her, but the key thing is, she was on my bumper.
Yeah.
And it was all innocent baby shit, but
yeah.
That was Brandy.
That's a cool story, bro.
Thank you.
The other question from Dusty is, ask him, did he ever smoke a blunt with Left Eye from TLC?
Did I? God
when she was on
bless
Death Row.
The late, great Lisa Left Eye Lopez, the homegirl Nina from the Row. Not only did I smoke with her, but Left Eye was the first person that put me on to smoking weed out of the onion peel. I remember she wrapped up some weed out of onion peel. Not only did she wrap up some weed out of onion peel, but she introduced myself, Suge Knight, Crooked Eye, Eastwood, the whole camp, Queen Gail. She introduced all of us to Dr. Sebi in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we met Dr. Sebi in the middle of the night. Not only that, I got the Right for Left Eye on the Dysfunctional Family, the soundtrack, the movie Eddie Griffin did. Myself, Eastwood, and Crooked Eye all got the right one verse on the record. Two Gangster for Radio feat that was performed by Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I remember one thing she told me when I was writing for her. She was so conscious of trying to be positive. She was like, Suge was already trying to gangster her out, took her, made her name be Nina, put her in all black leather and all this. And then I was writing for her, and she was like, hey, can you do me a favor? If you're going to reference any guns or any violence, can you make it to be like a metaphor for my lyrics? So if you want to say something like, I'll shoot you down, she wanted that to be about my lyrics to shoot you down, not no gun.
Yeah.
So I respected that. And one more thing I respected about her, from the very first moment I laid eyes on her. When she walked in the room and I saw how tiny and petite she was, the biggest headline I had known about her was about her burning down the house. So when she walked in the room, me being an asshole, I'm like, damn, little as you trying to burn down somebody's house? It fucked me up because her reaction was trying. Like, what you mean trying? Like, I did that. Yeah. Rest in peace, baby. I love you. Yeah, she was hard. She was so fly and so down to earth.
Onions, huh? You can smoke off of onions?
Onion peel, yep. And it don't taste like onion. It's such a smooth experience.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference between being on death row and being on G Unit? What was the biggest difference?
6 figures.
6 figures.
Traveling the world.
Yeah.
You know, Interscope was behind 50 and it wasn't behind Suge.
Yeah, I mean, and Suge was, when you got with Suge, he wasn't doing that well, right?
Yeah, it was the end of it. It was over. I remember going to one of the first events I went with Suge where there's paparazzi and all that. And we was leaving the event. I saw 2 white, real corny photographers like at the back of the crowd, not really. And they looked at each other and like, I don't know, maybe it was just all Tupac, right? Huh?
Oh, like that?
Yeah, because it was like Suge was walking and he was holding himself up. He was smoking a cigar. And the paparazzi was getting at him. I just happened to overhear 2 stragglers, like not really into the moment, talk to each other like,
yeah,
like it's like the thrill's gone. Like they're like, maybe it was Tupac, huh?
But it was gone. It was gone.
Definitely.
And yeah, definitely Tupac. I think, Tupac did a lot for Death Row, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not that Death Row was not already established as a powerhouse. There is, some things only happen once in a lifetime or in a generation.
Yeah.
For Death Row to be such a powerhouse, you almost thought you couldn't add nothing to it any bigger.
Yeah.
Usually you come to something that big and you only try to keep up or do less. But for Tupac to come and make the impact he made on a label that was so impactful, it's just hard to imagine that being reproduced ever in life.
Yeah, and I think his energy and passion. I mean, that's not only in Death Row, anywhere he went, as far as even making movies, bro. He had that energy, bro.
I don't want to flip the scripts, but just give me the moment to ask you, what's your favorite Tupac movie?
My favorite Tupac movie? I think it's gonna be the very first one he did.
Juice.
Yeah. Because it's his young. I think it's like his
rawest.
Yeah, his rawest.
It's like when he first tapped into his dark side, it seems.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell from his acting, even though you can tell that it's not really in him and he's actually acting and he's not being himself at that moment.
You can see that.
You can kind of see that. I don't know. I caught that.
The only reason I could see that is because of all the footage we have prior to that. Everything leading up to that didn't resemble that.
Right.
They showed the interviews when he was in the school with Jada
Yeah.
That wasn't long after. So I can get that when I compare the two. But had I never seen any of the other footage, to me, that was extremely believable, the performance he did in Juice. Bishop,
Yeah.
it was believable to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I tend to think he kind of got caught up trying to prove to himself he was Bishop. And Ice Cube didn't get caught up trying to prove to himself that he was old Doughboy. Right. Lorenz Tate didn't he didn't try to prove he was old dog.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Tupac never left that Bishop mentality once he got so deep into that role.
Oh, you think after the movie he actually took over that role? And
definitely, because
I didn't really pay attention to it like that, man.
Yeah, it seemed like that's the Tupac that kind of like, I think he found something within himself that probably existed, and he started leaning toward that portion of his energy, because we know he was a lot more well-rounded than the Rebel, but that seemed like that Juice role just put him in Rebel mode.
Yeah, it could have. I got to look back and see his previous interviews and how it escalated from there on out. I didn't see it that way. But
I also saw him, as he progressed, try to refine the Rebel.
I saw him as, well, I think everybody sees him as a revolutionary, right? He's much bigger than, everything around him. The words that he was saying were so passionate and so right on, even until today, bro. That's why he lives on,
He does. But do you think, I think the message is, I think timing has a lot to do with it. Because I don't think anyone can go and just memorize everything Tupac was saying in the interview and start saying it now and get the exact same reaction.
You can't, yeah.
No, it was organic timing and presentation by that particular individual.
Who was your favorite rapper, or New York favorite rapper?
Who was currently or all time? I would have to say Jadakiss if I just had to pick a New York guy.
No, growing up.
Growing up?
Yeah. Like, who was the first guy, the first New York guy you were like, that's the guy right there?
That's hard if you're going to take me back to my first New York growing up. Because I liked the self-destruction. I liked all that shit. I can't really remember picking a favorite from New York in those days. My first time really gravitating toward a New York artist was Nas.
That's
his first album.
Same for me, man.
Yeah. I can still spit some of that album word for word, whole verses.
Yeah.
Haven't heard it in years.
Me being from France, internationally, that's all we had, bro, from America. We had Nas, and we didn't have Tupac. We didn't have Tupac. We didn't have.
Is France considered the UK?
Europe.
Yeah. That side of the world, I'm under the understanding that Dear Mama is the all-time leading record.
Now it is.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. Why you think you guys are so late to getting Tupac?
I don't know. So when I left France in '97, so I wasn't. We didn't hear about Tupac. We heard about the Fugees and Nas. That was it, bro. That was it. I came over here, and then people over there started talking about Tupac to me when I would get on the phone. We didn't have FaceTime and all that, so we'd get on the phone and talk. And I think like in the early 2000s, that's when like California Love and all that, that's when they were just starting to talk about that.
Well, I guess that makes sense because Tupac was a successful rapper. Then he was a rap star before he was a superstar. Right. And it's typically superstars that got the exposure worldwide back then. Yeah. So you guys probably didn't get a hold, get hip to him until he became a superstar.
Probably so. I mean, also, excuse me, I think marketing has a lot to do with it. So I don't know if it had something to do with marketing or if he had something to do with.
Yeah, he wasn't yet being marketed. Yeah, because he was signed to Interscope.
But Interscope knows how to market really good, bro.
Yeah, but do they have the interest? They didn't have the interest in marketing him until he got in bed with Suge Knight, a powerhouse that was already being heavily marketed on Interscope. And then once he got exposed through that system, he was able to rise to that superstardom.
Yeah.
But he already had records that we love, like Brenda Had a Baby, I Get Around. When my homies called, he had shit that we fucked with. We fucked with that whole Thug Life project. You
have to understand, in Europe, it's not so the words, it's like the music and what it sounds like, kind of.
But I'm telling you what happens to in Europe a lot of time, what transcends a lot of times, it seems to me, is what's heavily marketed in the U.S. Sometimes a lot of the underground people who don't seem too popular in America seem to be more popular in Europe.
True.
But then it also seems like in order to go to Europe and have a successful run, all you have to do is be extremely successful in America. So it's like they don't really deal with the middle. You either got to be like on the lower level or the top.
Yeah, and that's how they start their marketing. Like they see what the numbers do over here, and then they push it out.
When last time you been to Europe? You still go back and forth?
No, I got paper issues, bro.
Say less. My bad. Edit that out.
No, I mean it's I gotta go to court and get my citizenship.
Over there?
I'm on a green card. No. Over here.
Oh, okay. Shit. So fuck all that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to clear everything before I ask for a citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm on the green right now.
Okay. I don't know the ins and outs, but I understand there's restrictions.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next question. The next question was DJ Quick. So he's asking, Spider said he got into an argument with DJ Quick outside of a club years ago. Ask him if he had a chance to squash that.
Wasn't quite an argument. It was the same weekend I met 50 Cent. The Summer Jam was in California at the Forum. I had a wristband to get in, but I was outside for whatever reason about to go back in. And I saw Cam, West Coast Cam, who put me on my very first record, trying to get in. He couldn't get in. Then I saw DJ Quick getting ready. He was getting accepted to go in right away. They was letting him right in. And DJ Quick was not showing any concern for the fact that Cam was trying to get in and they weren't letting him in. My naive brain at the time was aware that Cam and DJ Quick had just did a record with Dr. Dre. So me not knowing the insides of the industry from just coming into, not even being in this shit really, I knew about this record for months. And I'm thinking these niggas is best friends. You hear a record with Dr. Dre. Yeah. I think it was Truth Hurts. And it was Cam, Dr. Dre, and it was DJ Quick. So as just a consumer from growing up in the environment, that was big. When they on a record together, you think they know each other well, they hung out, whatever. So when I see them in this predicament where Cam is not allowed access and DJ Quick is, and DJ Quick is not showing no concern, I just call myself like, hey, Quick, you see what's going on? They not letting Cam in. Yeah. Thinking it's going to be an easy fix. Quick still didn't show no concern. So out of my naivety, I went up. Yeah. I went off, cussed him out. But mind you, Quick is with one of them niggas in a black suit that's paid to hold you down.
Right.
When he's walking, and a nigga in a black suit is just walking right on his heels. So Quick don't overreact. He really don't pay me no mind. He look at me. He see I'm not playing. I'm serious. He from L.A., he see this raw L.A. street energy getting at him belligerent. He don't really know why. I just didn't know what was going on. So that was that. Never had another interaction with Quick. And then one day, years later, I was at the Supper Club, and Quick was standing in the section to where I walked up, him and his whole entourage, they was like on the stage level. I remember walking up, reaching through, like grabbing Quick shin real tight, right above his ankle. He reached down, shook my hand, we locked eyes. And So from that moment, I assumed that Quick knew everything that meant. If he remembered that moment at the supper club, that was it.
That was it. That's a squash, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also wanted to ask you, what did you think about Kendrick Lamar's new video that came out?
Hey, that shit was dope, bro. I'm glad I happened when I watched the video. The next thing I watched was a reaction to the video, and a lot of the little intricacies would have went over my head had I not done so.
Yeah.
That shit was genius, bro. The motherfucking pinata owl, him dancing with his family right at the section where he mentioned family mattering.
Right.
Him bringing out the section to the world. A lot of those faces that you see might not matter, but we realize what he did by highlighting certain individuals out here on this local coast. The owl in the cage at the end.
Yeah.
That shit was subtly.
The owl in the cage at the end, and when he walks away and the owl is just looking at him like he can't really do nothing about what just happened.
Yeah, because he can't. What can he do?
Yeah, definitely. West Coast is definitely winning right now, bro. And that's Kendrick did that.
Nah,
Bro.
King K-Dot. You gotta call him King K-Dot. He did that.
Yep. That was pretty good. We needed that, man.
No, we definitely needed that because so many people been shitting on the West Coast.
But if you look back at honestly, if you look back at like West Coast battles and diss tracks, we have the best diss tracks, bro. If you look back, we have the hardest diss tracks.
Now that you're saying, and then this is not even one of the hardest. This is why I appreciate the record so much. I think, especially for people that think and thinkers, this is the process. I think for the most time, a thinker like Kendrick, a lot of times shit'll go over people's head, and then I'm a thinker too. So I think sometimes I think so hard I miss a lot.
Right.
I didn't get a lot of what Cub was saying on that record at first, bro. I didn't really appreciate the presentation at first, but I ain't gonna lie, the shit done grew on me, and now I understand, understand the shit a lot better, and it made me understand Kendrick's success a lot better with this simple record.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really, as much as it was a diss record, this motherfucker was clever as a motherfucker, bro. Usually diss records be a lot more aggressive, angry. This nigga made a happy party record and shitted on a nigga at the same time. That's genius.
Yeah, that record is really hard, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like we constantly put out this type of records out, man.
He had fun.
He had fun. He definitely
had fun. When you
Not only
fun,
he had fun, we had
the
fun
whole
over
town
here.
had fun.
And then he united a lot of people out here.
He did. He even showed traditional, like, our generation of partying that we was raised on, or our kids was raised on, was Tommy the Clown.
Right.
And even though that's not the most popular form of partying now, he still threw that element in there. I think that was genius for him to include, because that's part of LA culture that is kind of fading away and not being highlighted as much as it once was.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was all scripted, but it was not. I mean, it all came together very well. Everything from day one. If you look at the first time he got at Drake, and then the response, and then coming back, it kind of like graduated. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I thought that it was gonna be really hard for Kendrick to do something against Drake, because Drake has been winning and winning.
Bro, I look at it like a Javante Davis fight, like it's Frank Martin fight.
Right.
Because those first few records Kendrick did, it reminded me of Javante just going out there, standing in front of this dude and not really being hurt. Right. It's like he was hurting him. Yeah. And up into the 56th round, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, Javante is waiting on this knockout a little too much. This dude is outboxing him. If he could do this for another 6 rounds, and then he came with the knockout.
Yeah.
And then Kendrick came with the knockout.
Yep.
Oh, my mama. I remember hearing someone say that DJ Mustard was sending him 5 beats a day, and that was the beat that he picked eventually.
Yeah, DJ Mustard went on, I think, Power 106, and He was like, I was sending for months. I didn't even know he picked the beat. He said, until I heard it when we all heard it.
Wow.
So he was sending him 5 beats every single day. That's crazy work, man, if you think about it. Shout out DJ Mustard.
Yeah,
bro.
that was a cold. I wonder, but just imagine the beats he didn't pick.
Yeah,
Mustard hard. He might as well, a lot of those up and coming artists that he highlighted on that run,
yeah.
it might be a good idea to do some recording with them on some of those beats he didn't utilize and do a project with them.
True. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Actually.
Yeah.
And but those beats, he wouldn't send it out just to anybody. Like those particular 5 beats would be for him. He wouldn't send it to.
That's not necessarily true.
I think that's what he said on the.
That's what he said?
I think so. I think that's what I picked up.
Although he may have said that, and it might be 100% true. I ain't going to even challenge that. If he said that, then that's what he did.
I think. I mean, that's what I remember him saying.
I just have a great idea of how things actually work.
Yeah.
And this is a clip I saw today just scrolling through Reels. LL Cool J telling the crowd on a podcast, he said, you know what beat I had? And it was the Explosive. Him and Dre did a song to that beat before the version we heard.
Oh man, that version did he show a clip of that?
No,
version?
it was just like on like YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And it was like basically LL pumping the room up with anticipation. And then once he dropped the song, it was a reaction to everybody in the room, and it was over.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but he had that explosive. Dr. Dre, the Chronic Explosive.
That's a hard ass song.
Just imagine it was a Dr. Dre and LL Cool J version of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Dr. Dre didn't put that one out, huh?
No, but there are tons of records like that will fuck your head up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure, especially Dr. Dre. He's constantly working, so I know he has a lot of things in his.
Just think, D12 had the In the Club beat and passed on it.
They did. They didn't recognize it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That happened. So for me to assume that every beat that Mustard sent Kendrick was the first person to hear him, if that's true, that is amazingly awesome. It's just not the way things normally work.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he really wanted Kendrick on one of his beats.
But that don't mean he wasn't grabbing shit out of his catalog, out of his archives.
Could be.
It's the way things typically work, I'm telling you.
I'll look back and.
But then again, he could be cooking up off top for Kendrick because Kendrick is K-Dot. So that could be the scenario. It's just not, that's just shocking. And if that was the way it happened, that just makes it more, it makes it more shocking, more awesome.
Yeah, more interesting.
Indeed.
But yeah, Kendrick did that, and he united the West Coast for sure. And that's basically what you're trying to do too, right?
Definitely. It's what we've been about since the Bangadocious days. If you go back to my G-Unit days, my first mixtape that I put out under that umbrella, it was myself and a handful of other individuals, but it was Crips and Damus. Yeah. Beautiful World. It's such an aggressive statement of what people would consider cripping. Yeah. But before I allowed the public to get real comfortable with the record, I doubled up with the remix with Papa Smurf with the all red verse. So it's something we've always been about, the West Side Connection. Yeah. They did the first big display of it. Suge and Snoop kind of embodied it. Yeah. And I just feel like it's the way of the future. And there's no other way to actually do it because people look at me like Crip, but they don't know that my father's sister's son is a Damu from Swan.
Wow, okay.
We love each other. We do everything for each other that family would do for one another. Right. I got cousins for Miller Gangsters. I got cousins for Bounty Hunters. So it's not just me.
Right.
It's a whole community of people with these interchangeable relationships. I think as we mature as a people, not as individual, because as individuals we get to different levels at different times. But I think as a whole, we are maturing to a point where the majority of us are going to be getting it instead of just a few of us.
True. What I noticed about you is whoever's standing next to you, and it doesn't matter who it is, you usually tend to push the person next to you in front of you. you constantly have this, I want this person to be, I'm going to say maybe even bigger than me. You seem to have that in you. And that's humbling, man.
I think I get that because I was raised in a church, heavily indoctrinated by the Bible. And one of the main concepts that I picked up from the Bible is that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And that you understanding and believing that you don't seek being last, but you allow yourself to not be eager to be first. And if you are generally perceived as not at the head of the line, that's fine. You don't have to push nobody back. You don't have to hold nobody else shine back in order for your shine to be realized. I feel like if my shine is worthy of any type of recognition, there is no other shine that I can stand next to that can decline mine. And even if I haven't been successful in promoting another individual as to being as big as I would want to see them get, I haven't seen myself sharing my shine with anyone to the point where they got bigger than me either.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just, selfless versus selfishness is something that, morally, I might tend to think about more than the average person that has my general appearance.
It's not an easy thing to do, and it seems like you have it in you. So, and that's why I really believe on what you're doing right now as far as putting a group together. I don't know if we gave out the email.
You did, but do it again at Yahoo.
Yeah, it's yournewdeals@yahoo.com.
Your New Deals. How do we find a way to incorporate the artists that I love into this process without it seeming like it's fixed or rigged?
Well, first and foremost, it's Logic. It's your artist, and we have to put them in the list. Like also, I believe you talked to ODM Slim, which is a beautiful person, right? By the way, that guy is amazing, and he always speaks the truth. I always watch his show. I also want to give a shout out to Dubs. I also watch his show, and I take from each and every one of you, basically. And in that way, I think we motivate each other to do great things. But this is especially for the kids, and it's not even about us. It's not about clout. It's to get the kids off the street if we can. And that's what Spider is working on. That's the movement. And
it's just like our field production company, headed off by Augustine. I'm able to have my son at the age of 15. He's about to be 16 very soon. But he has a natural passion and interest for photography. So, he's going to be able to tag along and learn too. So it's not just us reaching out to the community and trying to help, like you say, not just rappers, but anybody we know with some talent. We're going to start with this hip hop shit. But it's about showing the next generation about being hands-on and getting the opportunity.
Right.
I want to be involved in some nepotism. Fuck that.
Yep. This movement is not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work. I know this. I'm starting to realize that it's going to be a lot of work.
You know how that's obvious when because, you bring it up, we talk, you say, great idea. And it sounds like fireworks. It sounds like happiness. And you look at me, you're like, what's wrong, bro? And I immediately I start knocking holes in the idea. But it's just to make it a practical effort.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a process of throwing ideas around, thoughts, and seeing them.
Right. So I think we got a lot out the way. To be honest with you guys, we actually did one session right before this, about 30 to 40 minutes in, and we realized.
I was trying not to tell.
Yeah, I had to say. Cause
we ain't realized shit.
Yeah.
He realized all by himself. Press. But you know why I can relate to this moment so well?
Tell me.
starting in 2024, I was on Jumper quite a bit.
Right.
And the very first time I went, I probably just say I had a show, we did 6 episodes, and I had like random interviews. Just say I went 12 times in 2024. The very first time I went and did an interview, the energy in the interview was extremely electric. I think everybody in the room appreciated it, and including Adam. And a day or two after I did the interview, I got a call from Adam or a text saying that, guess what? I love the interview that we did so much, but it's a bummer we don't have the audio.
That is a bummer.
And I didn't know if I believed him. We talked shit. We trolled each other. And I eventually went back. When I went back, he went out his way to convince me that it was an actual blunder. And I thought it might have been a situation where he and his staff thought better to just delete the interview based on things that we talked about, because I hadn't seen Adam in quite some time. He had said some controversial things in the interim of us seeing one another, and I felt it was my duty to approach him about certain issues. And I did that, and he handled the questions well, but we had some real moments outside of the typical trolling you see going at No Jumper. And I always thought that, man, he deleted that shit because he really didn't want to see how I handled those certain subjects. But I'm not going to lie. I fuck with Mikey and the crew and Josh and everybody as I went back and forth on a frequent basis. They made me confident that it was a fuck up. And here it is today.
It happened.
It happened again. Y'all don't have no idea. This motherfucker was popping.
Yeah.
So we don't know if we actually recreated the energy or not. It seems like the homie is not satisfied.
No, I'm just, I was disappointed at the time because we were like 30, 40 minutes in and I was excited. And you guys should know, this is my very first time hosting. And, after doing it for the first time and 40 minutes in with all that energy, I turn around and I see the record button is green instead of being red. And I'm waving to Spider. I'm like, bro, we got to cut it off.
Y'all don't even know.
It's disappointing, It's like,
humbling. He's giving you a humbling account. If he told you how much troubleshooting we had to do just today before we could even think we were recording.
Right, yeah.
And if we start there, that'll be a hell of a story. But not to mention the last few weeks of all the salute, man. This ain't nothing because we can run it back again. I ain't giving a
True. Yeah, and that's exactly what he said. He said, fuck it, run it back.
Oh, my mama, we in this. Just the marathon continues. Rest in peace, right. Neighborhood Nip.
Rest in peace, Nipsey. And we're going to also get into that on the next one. With that being said, I think we should cut it off right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Spider, I hope you enjoyed this.
I owe you a few of these. This ain't what you was after, but we going to get it here, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. And again, I'm a new host, so it's going to take time for me to get better at this. I'm fresh at this, even the equipment, everything, the microphones, the headphones.
I had no idea. This dude right here is something else.
Yeah. So we're going to hustle and we're going to try to get the kids together because it's all about them. And hopefully we can make this movement happen. And that's going to be really up to the fans and the numbers that we see. That's going to keep us pushing. So subscribe.
Tap in or tap out. Y'all know what to do.
That's what it is. Cliche 93 TV connecting with the black box. Until then, peace.
Jeter.